let's take a look at your Caribbean report for tonight.
On St. Lucia, former Attorney General Nicholas Frederick has finally spoken out on his termination. Last week, Dr. Frederick was given his walking papers 3.5 years after serving as St. Lucia's Attorney General. In a brief statement, Dr. Frederick stated that the Attorney Generals are used as scapegoats. Attorney Generals in the Caribbean are often scapegoats. Sometimes they're sacrificial lambs to the slaughter, and this is because they carry out orders, the results of which sometimes may cause embarrassment, or even orders that the Attorney Generals have advised against, orders that the public would not be aware of. And in Antigua and Barbuda, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, Monday said that the economy of Antigua and Barbuda has experienced the worst recession in decades, and that the gross domestic product, more than half of which is tourism, declined by 7% last year. It said that the decline in the GDP followed 5 years in which the local economy grew by an average of 6%. The Washington-based financial institution, which last month concluded consultations with Antigua and Barbuda's government, said that the following decline in 2008's inflation has remained in its lowest single digits despite the 20% increase in fuel prices and higher consumption taxes. And finally, Hollywood star George Clooney is about to pick up a humanitarian award for his Hope for Haiti U.S. television special and his efforts to raise funds for the disaster victims in other parts of the world. The 49-year-old will be presented with the Bob Hope Humanitarian Award by the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences at the Emmy Awards next month. He will be the fourth recipient of that award, established in 2002.
That's your Caribbean report for tonight. And a lieutenant colonel chaplain of the U.S. Army has returned home to St. Croix on a mission to try to preserve our youth from the crime and violence swelling in our territory. The chaplain will speak at the Central Church of Nazarene this weekend, starting tonight. Here now is the youth director at the Central Church of Nazarene, Kamal Kambuli, and Colonel Chaplain Milik Berth Williams. And News Channel 8's Wes Small.
Thank you very much, Jerome. I'm here now with Kamal Kambui, who is, you are in charge of the Frederiksted zone of the Central Church of the Nazarene.
In charge of Vice President of the Youth Zone, Nazarene, NYI Youth Group.
All right, and this is all about the youth.
Yes, it is.
Standing to the right of him here is Chaplain Lieutenant Colonel Meckworth Williams, and I want to welcome you, sir, to our Virgin Islands. The chaplain said he did a prayer and he brought the sunshine into our territory. We're going to be talking with him. We're going to be talking about tonight and also on Friday and Saturday, as we have some missions involving our youth. These are some troubled times, and the chaplain is going to be speaking, I would imagine, and we have some other things that you want to enlighten our public about.
Yes. First of all, we have 2 nights of a special service that is going to be held at the Central Church of the Nazarene. That is tonight and tomorrow. It's beginning at 7:30, where the chaplain is going to be the guest speaker, and the topic that he's going to be dealing with is insight into the times that we're living in. We know the problem that we're having with our youths, and this is no stranger to us, because in the biblical Bible speaks about it, about the problem that we're having, and he's going to expand on that. We're asking the youths to come out, as well as adults to come out to these 2 nights of special service, where he's going to be enlightening the speaking audience of the congregation as we gather into the times that we're living in.
All right. Well, sir, Chaplain, what things are you going to be enlightening us about during these seminars?
Well, first, let me say thank you for the opportunity of being here. It's good to come back to St. Croix, because I started my military right here in St. Croix down at Golden Rock. So coming back now as a chaplain, lieutenant colonel, is a fulfillment of my dream when I started out here as a young man. So this is an opportunity to give back to the community, give back to the island, and to have these special services. Also want to thank Pastor Tony for inviting me out to speak at this special event. As we know, as we look around, there's so many issues that surround our world today. And of course, it affects St. Croix, Virgin Islands in itself, since St. Croix is part of our world. And these things that affect us affect each and every one of us, from our young people to our adults. But our focus this week is going to be our young people, and to be able to give them some insights into some of the troubling times that we're living in.
As we wrap this up then, it's the Youth Festival for Christ, and that is July 23rd.
Yes, that will be on July 23rd, this Friday here, beginning at 7:30. The place will be at St. Christ Educational Complex, and it will be in the gymnasium. Again, I say it will be in the gymnasium because some of our prior release had said it was going to be in the auditorium. We have a conflict there with some problems where someone else is using the auditorium, but we will continue to have this event as scheduled, and it will be in the gymnasium. And the admission is free. I must again say it's free.
With the chaplain and with Kamal, I'm Wes Small. Please come out for News Channel 8.